The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, The Money Masters. Now, your Money Masters, Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes.
Welcome, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We appreciate all you tigers and tigresses growling and prowling out here with us. Market-wise, out here, what we're doing, we have the Dow right now up 42, Nasdaq's up 6, S&Ps are up 1. You get gold up a 480. Bonds refuse to back off, down 2 ticks at 150.17, and King Dollar refuses to back off, up 9 ticks at 83.45. The euro is at 122.70. You know, so bottom line is that this market, you know, the dollar wants to go higher. The market itself, you got it's a beautiful consolidation. You know, I heard you talking about it in the first hour, your hour there.
Yeah.
And what happens in consolidations, folks, this is how you can tell it's consolidation, is that it's gapping up and gapping down. When you have that
on both sides
deal happening, you get a consolidation. Now, they always work themselves out.
That's right.
Okay?
Exactly.
Now,
exactly.
of course, my take is it going to work itself out to the downside. Why? Because we still get volume at the lows. But bottom line, you can let it play out. The amazing part, though, if you actually take a look at right off the bat of what it wanted to do here this morning, okay, it wanted to get into the gap from the gap away on the 5th.
Yes, yes.
136.29. Oh, it got to 136.23. Isn't that sick?
I know.
So it's still 6 pennies away. I would have rather see it hit.
Oh, no, for sure. That's right.
6 pennies is 6 pennies,
that's
man. Right?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. Interesting, you know, IBM, you know, is trading lower again today. You know, down, you know, not with any volume or anything like that. What's your take on IBM?
Yeah, that gap. That gap is wide open, man. Once you get that close, it's a big magnet.
Yeah.
Okay? So IBM, folks, has a gap when it had gapped higher on the 19th of January. That gap is 182.35. You're at 189. It wants to go there. Well, and you can see as you came, well, first off, we have no volume at the highs at 210.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
First leg, you came down, well, here, when I say no volume, you had 4 million.
Right.
When you came down with 10.
Right.
You went back up with 2. You came down with 9. You went back up with 3. You came off 3 with 8.
Yes.
That's saying, hey, man, that's going after it. And you know, what happens there, too, now this is where
and then the weighting of IBM inside the Dow. How does that, I mean, it's the number one weighting inside the Dow, I think, right? But that's okay. I mean, look at it right now. But I guess my point to the folks out there is it's number one weighting inside the Dow.
Right.
You know, the Dow's not evenly weighted, folks. And so you've got IBM where, you know, it's telling you it really does want lower prices. You know, that's a real headline.
Huge
thing that you have to be paying attention to.
Absolutely. And when you look at, I just put this on a weekly, folks, okay? On a weekly, IBM is streaming for 172.61.
Yeah.
Streaming.
Yes.
It's streaming. I'll tell you, you know, folks, you know, when you talk about scandal after scandal.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah. Now, that's kind of interesting because of our conversation yesterday. So got to tell the folks.
Hey, I mean, we might as well tell the story. Okay,
yeah.
so listen to this, folks. You talk about missing a bullet. This is pretty intense, okay? So, if you didn't hear yet, what happened is that PFG Best, which is a futures firm, okay?
Yeah.
A guy that owns this, Weiserman, bottom line, he tried to commit suicide yesterday. You know, it is not a lot of information about how it was done and all that. Okay?
Right.
What there is information about is that there's a huge amount of money missing out of clients' funds, $200 million.
Yeah.
Okay. So yesterday, Steve and I were having a conversation. So picture something. They own a couple other companies, and they basically wanted to do some business.
Yes.
Right. And so, you know, I've been going back and forth, and I said to Steve yesterday, now, right as we get off yesterday, I says, okay, I think I'll, you know, make the call and see, where we can straighten out here. Let me tell you. So I text Steve later on in the afternoon. I says, you're not going to believe this, right? You know, you talk about missing a bullet.
Yeah.
You know, and
now I mean, he was one of the first guys on the electronic trading side.
Yeah, he was.
Right?
He was.
I mean, you were there at that time frame,
right? He absolutely was. He absolutely was. And he ended up buying the business we were going to basically get our heads wrapped around. He ended up buying Traders Press.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last workshop last money show that we're at, that's where this whole thing come up.
Yeah.
You know, and thank God I didn't pursue it then, which was 5 months ago. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Thank God we didn't pursue it, period.
That's right, yeah.
But it's, you know, bottom line, folks, it's a couple $100 million missing. And,
yeah.
And, you know, and it's like these futures brokers, they're going to have to get this together because, you know, even on Bloomberg right now, to me, that should be the top story.
Yes.
And they're sweeping it under the carpet. I mean,
yeah.
Look at this.
That's right.
If we look at the top stories, it's like, no, there's nothing in there. Well, why isn't there anything in there? Where's that customer money? This is going to be the same thing over and over and over again. And they're wondering why people don't want to trade.
No, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's what you wake up and you say,
right.
Good Lord.
That's sick, man.
Well, and what I was really saying to Tom, you know, look, is more so from the standpoint, I mean, they talk about the different layers that you actually have in here to actually be able to identify it. Now, you know, I come from a bean counter background.
Right.
So, you know, and Tom could, you know, rip apart a income statement, balance sheet, you know, like anybody else out there as well. And so what we can't put our finger on is you've got auditors that are out there. They're out there on a continuous basis, you know, on a quarterly basis.
Right.
And, you know, and how can they miss this stuff?
Right. Because
how do you miss this?
We got to explain to them. What happens, folks, is this: if you haven't had a company that has to get audited and you have shareholders, okay, the way it works is this: is that when you get audited, all right, you know, it's a third party, number one. It's going to be a CPA that has big insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have a small company, and it doesn't matter, but when they're putting their signature, that is a big deal.
Yeah.
Now, watch it, and that's what Steve and I were talking about before we get on. What happens for bank accounts is this, is that they'll take your figures, right? Then there's 3 separate letters that go to the banks, and it has to come back signed.
Yeah.
It's like, so you know the regulators and the auditors aren't doing their job. There's no possible. I said, you got to be kidding me, man. Yeah. I mean, folks, if the audit is done correctly, that means that the bank is in on it.
No, that doesn't even make sense to me. I just can't. You know, there's a real screw that is loose out there that just makes no logical sense. And you're right; it should be one of the top stories out there, not something that you
can't find it. You can't find it. There's poor people that have the money there. So what happens is this: they froze the accounts. What they're allowing, folks, is this: they're allowing them sell out of the position, but they can't take their money out. This is going to be just another scandal.
Yeah.
Sick. 877-927-6648. So, market-wise here, okay. Bottom line. Wow, the beer's out here.
Flat.
Oh, my God.
It could be a long summer.
It's going to be a long summer, you know, because it's teasing just enough. Right now I get the SPY up, folks, and I mean, what's screaming out here is that, you know, they just want to get filled. So we'll see how these bottoms fill. The cool thing is that it's a very large consolidation. Yes. So, you know, we can be here for a couple months, which is dynamite, because the bottom of the consolidation, folks, is down, you know, the 1280 mark up to the 1370 mark.
Yes, yes.
That's pretty sweet, man.
Yeah. And the market overall, considering the absolute, you know, weakness in the euro and the strength in the dollar, it's still not too bad. You know, price point where it's at right now. It's, you know, the U.S. markets have been not too bad. Not too bad so far.
No, well, you know what? I mean, my take now is that even with the dollar wanting to go 89, I think this gold market has bottomed.
Yeah.
On a much longer term bottom, too. And it's going to get interesting. Now, we're at 1593. Can it get down to 1550? Yeah, but that's not. If it gets down there with light of arm, it's not going to matter because the equities themselves have already stopped moving. And it's real possible that the next phase in the gold market, I think we're at the beginning of it right now.
Yes.
It absolutely has to do with currencies, and it has to do with countries.
Yes.
You know, because what you have, folks, is that you have many countries that want the resource. A lot of these gold and, you know, any iron ore companies, they've spent a huge amount of money. Well, they want the resource now. So they're either going to take it physically, they're going to put laws in to stop it, or the tax it.
Yeah.
You know what Greece did yesterday? So listen to this, folks. Okay, this is how bizarre. You know what's so cool? I'll tell you. If you're in the resource space,
yes,
kind of understanding that the world is about resources.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, water.
I was doing the gold report last night, right? And you get a picture. In Florida right now, folks. Okay, it's hot in the afternoon, but at night it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh yeah,
it's beautiful.
Out. Yeah.
So I was outside last night, right? Me and Holly, he's growling and prowling. I'm throwing, stuff for him, and he keeps. So I'm out there till about midnight, and I'm doing the gold report. Well, what ends up happening? I'm going to bring the stock up because this ties into Europe and ties into Greece in particular.
Yes.
Now, Eldorado Gold, okay?
Yeah.
Nice gold company, okay?
Yes.
They have something that's unique, okay? That's a stock that trades at $12. They do business, and they have 4 mines in Greece. In Greece.
Do they really?
Yeah. Okay, in Greece. So check this out. So this is an equity that, nice acceleration, in 2008, it's at $2. At 2010, it's at $20, right? And it has volume going all the way up to 18.
Okay.
For 1488 to 18. Okay. So check out what happened here. This is just crazy. Do not buy Eldorado Gold right now, folks. It's setting up nice, okay? But this little baby's going to go test the bottoms, and we'll see how it tests the 1020 area again, right?
Okay.
But listen to what's stopping them right now. The Greek Supreme Court.
Yeah.
This is now Eldorado is claiming that they have all the necessary permits. They've spent a fortune on these mines, right?
Yes.
Well, someone is uptight right now, and so the Greek Supreme Court just ruled that they can't cut down any trees. Not that they can't take the gold out, but they can't cut down any trees. Swear to God. So it stopped the development in one of their mines.
Okay.
Now picture this for a second. In Greece in particular, folks, that's what the economic makeup is so bizarre. If Steve and I wanted to go on the air and talk like this, it would probably take us 5 years to get a license.
Yeah.
That's how sick it is.
Yeah.
But when I saw that come across, so that ruling came down about a week and a half ago. Right?
Okay.
But so they think they're going to be able to beat it, but I'm trying to figure out how can you beat the Greek Supreme Court?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So what do you think's behind it?
Well, in their case, I said they just seem like they're out of their mind. I mean, I can't comprehend how you just keep stopping businesses. You know, but that's what they do.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Do they get what kind of gold do they get out of those mines?
They get a lot.
They do.
It's a high, rich vein mine. That is.
It is.
It's a very small mine, but it's a high, rich vein mine. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you were thinking that you might, as one of your options, might be getting out of the euro.
Right.
After you get as much money as they'll give you. It would be nice to have gold.
Oh, that's what they're doing?
It'd be nice to have gold resources behind your new currency
or whatever. Yeah. Steve Rhodes got it. That's what they're doing. Forget it, man. They're taking the gold. They're saying the heck with the euro. No, they're taking the gold.
I think so.
They're taking the gold. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, all you Tigers and Tigresses, we appreciate you being out there. Dow right now is up 20. Nasdaq's flat. S&Ps are off 4. We're going to be right back. That's exactly what they're doing.
Kate Stalter's exciting newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, has just launched, and now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial. Every Wednesday afternoon, Kate sends out her weekly newsletter to her subscribers where she focuses on small cap stocks with market caps under $2 billion, as well as low-priced equities with share prices ranging from $5 to $12. Kate tracks a variety of stocks with a combination of strong technical support and solid fundamentals. Many of the stocks featured will be recent IPOs. These newer issues are often some of the biggest price gainers in the market and provide an excellent opportunity for substantial gains if timed correctly. You can catch Kate Stalter live on Tiger TV with her small cap roundup every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and visit TFNN.com right now to get your 2-week free trial to her brand new newsletter, Low Priced Leaders, while locking in the low introductory monthly rate of only $37.50 per month, almost a 50% discount. Act now. With the launch of Tiger TV, TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With Tiger TV, you gain access to each host charts and computer screen as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Ken Shreve, Kate Stalter, Dave White, Larry Pesavento, or Victor Jones, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on Tiger TV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out Tiger TV yet, then visit TFNN.com today to see what you're missing. You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you magnify your perspective. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. Just like that, another month has passed and the Great Panther Silver Summer Silver Giveaway has come to an end. Each market day in June, one lucky winner was chosen to receive a 1-ounce silver bar courtesy of Great Panther Silver and TFNN. We'd like to thank all the listeners that chose to participate, and if you weren't lucky enough to be a winner this time around, be on the lookout in the coming months for another opportunity to win a 1-ounce silver bar courtesy of Great Panther Silver and TFNN. Thanks so much and good trading.
Stock market corrections are the #1 reason that a buy and hold investment strategy produces the poorest results, and I have 73 years of data that proves it. Now, the good thing about economic difficult times is that the worst economy can produce the best rewards in the shortest period of time. In fact, during the last 130 years, 61% of that time period has been spent in recession. And if you're one of the 70% of American households relying on their 401ks and IRAs for retirement, you need the single strategy that is bulletproof against the turmoil of our stock markets. Go to the homepage at TFNN.com. Under Breaking News, click on Success is a Numbers Game to receive this must-have free report. This bulletproof strategy may be days away from giving the next signal. Don't neglect your retirement, and don't neglect this signal. If you're even a little bit interested in accumulating wealth, providing a better life for you and your family, then go to TFNN.com to order your free copy of Success is a Numbers Game today. Implement the disciplines contained in this report, and success will be yours for the taking.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us. Don't forget, folks, if you do enjoy the programming at TFNN, please tell 3 people. We start at 9 o'clock in the morning, and now we go to 6 o'clock at night, 5 days a week. All original content. So when we were talking about the gold market, my take on it goes like this. The next phase, the phase we're in right now, folks, is going to be all about currencies, where they're doing business in, and the countries. Okay, because the war is on.
Yes.
And the war is on in an extraordinary way.
Yes, yes.
And these countries are just going to confiscate, period. You know, they're going to either do it through tax taking, through stopping them, basically villages just kind of getting up saying, I don't want you taking my resource. Man.
Yeah.
You know? I know. It's wild, man. I bet that it's there. It's absolutely there, man. You know. Let's go to K. Rico in Pompano Beach. He's back from Costa Rica. He's visiting his mother. K. Rico, what's happening, brother?
Buenos dias, amigos.
How you doing, man?
I'm okay. Tom, how does it feel after you've been away for 2 weeks? Do you have a different visual perspective on the markets from a distance? You know, I know you probably were tuned in every minute, every day.
No, I wasn't tuned in every minute, every day. Let me tell you something. One of the skill sets I have is that I can change my mind and let everything go in 2 seconds. And that, I'm sure you've heard the story. I got that, you know, that was from Ray Koch and The Making of McDonald's.
Yeah.
And if you've never read this book, folks, it's only about 110 pages. And if you can still get it, it's The Making of McDonald's. And what that book was about was this, is that when he made McDonald's, he started it when he's 55 years old.
Exactly. Absolutely.
And he knew
which is great.
that in order to get a big company, what he had to do was be able to turn it on just go from 0 to 8,000 in 2 seconds and then turn it off. And I read that book when I was about 28, and I'm very good at that. And I can get, you know, see, you got to remember, 28, I had this restaurant, and we worked from 7 in the morning to 11 at night, every day. Yeah. So I'd have to turn it off in order to get up. And so the incentive, watch what the incentive is. The incentive is so cool, though. The incentive is if you want to build a big company, you have to have that energy.
Yeah, for sure.
So you have to be able to turn it off. And then when you come back on, bang, you're cooking, man. You know. So I'm lucky in that aspect. Angie goes crazy sometimes. She says, I can't believe that you can just flat out. And it's wicked because I can. I just turn around and go, boom, okay, let's go. Let's go look at the water. Anything except thinking. And I love thinking, but...
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
It's a time frame. So.
Yes.
Well, I think I'm about 1.5 years, 2 years from my plan to put myself totally out to pasture and turn it all off as far as hungry for money. And I found a little island off of a little coastal town in Costa Rica where it's like, if you ever saw the movie Jurassic Park, this island is like a mini Jurassic Park with the landscape and the waterfalls and the beauty and the fishing off the shore. I got to take that route because, you know what, I'm in my 60s above, you know, and I'm thinking, what am I killing myself for? It's not worth it. I'm happier when I'm doing nothing and fishing and diving and not thinking.
That's what you're supposed to do then. You know, I mean, the aspect you just said, hungry for money, I don't think that's I like making money, but that's not my...
That's your whole push.
That's not my push. My push
ends up being a result.
I just kind of like creating. Do you know what I'm saying? So
I should reword it. More like, I think it's just like I belong in Gamblers Anonymous.
Okay, well that's important to understand. Then you do want to get out. No, that's a problem. No, that's a problem. And that's good. You're cognizant of that because that's not where it's at, man. Do you know what I mean?
I'm really to really concentrate on something I'm really starting to enjoy. I'm mapping out regularly the earthquake patterns of the world, and I'm enjoying almost seeing how those things are setting up in a triangular way, in my own way of
absolutely. Hey, listen, man, you can go fishing every day. Fishing's a great workout. What you want to do, I can tell you right out there, do not think of retiring, folks, okay?
That's right.
And if you want to live, don't think of retiring. What you want to be able to do is that you want to use your mind, use your body every single day.
That's right.
You can do different things, but do not just lay back, okay? Because if you lay back, it's all over. It's done.
Yeah.
Because all life is energy. You know what I mean? You want to lay back? Okay, well, that's it. You're done, man. You know, so
we're on the same page. We're all on the same page.
That's a beautiful thing. What are we going to look at? An Eco Eagle?
Okay, AEM.
AEM. Don't touch it. Let's take a look at it. We got an Eco Eagle. Nice stock. Okay, low's 31, the high 73. It's trading at 39 right now. But this baby, has a couple different things happening. You got a consolidation. It looks to me, though, I'll put this a little bit. Put it on a weekly. Okay. So on a weekly, what you have is this. Is that we're at the 39.92. This baby looks to me like it wants to go back to about that 37 to 33 area and test that area out.
I remember the day several months ago that I remember the program when you said don't touch AEM until it's around 33, and you were right.
Well, we'll see what I'm right this time. Cooking, brother.
Okay,
have a great one. Have a safe one. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, all you Tigers and Tigresses, appreciate you being here. You stay right there. We're going to be right back.
Would you like a personal update from Tom O'Brien as to what equities he's trading and what his daily trading plan is before the market opens each morning? Every market day, Tom O'Brien sends out his daily newsletter, Market Insights, to hundreds of subscribers that rely on his daily recommendations when it comes to navigating these highly volatile markets we're dealing with. As recently as May 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out all 5 open positions for a combined profit of over 68% in one day. Profits ranged from 6.5% to over 24%, and all of these trades had been initiated within the previous 30 days. Now is the perfect time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's explosive trading newsletter, Market Insights, an $85 value. Tom breaks down the market each morning with his market take and provides trade recommendations including precise stops and target profit zones, leaving nothing left to guessing. Log on to TFNN.com today and sign up for your 2-week free trial. Make sure you're a subscriber the next time Market Insights subscribers close out multiple winning trades. Take action and sign up for your free trial today. If you're an investor looking for a great weekly investment newsletter, then now is the perfect time to try out Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Every Tuesday, Ken breaks down multiple sectors in his weekly newsletter, Ultimate Growth Stocks, with a full in-depth report including specific trading recommendations within his model portfolio, charts, sector analysis, upcoming economic data, along with intra-week trading updates on newsletter positions whenever the market dictates. Right now, you can receive a full month, that's 30 days, to evaluate Ken's newsletter free of charge to see if it fits your trading plan. At less than $75 per month, Ken provides you with his expert trading advice that can pay for itself in no time. Take advantage of this great offer by signing up for a 30-day free trial to Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks today. Don't let this offer pass you by. Visit the front page of TFNN.com and sign up now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us. Let's go take a look at some of the high-volume stocks in a low-volume market right now. You got Advanced Micro devices. They're not going to be making numbers. That's down 48 cents, trading at $5.14. Mako Surgery, they're done. That's over.
Big time.
It's all over. Down 9.74, trading out at 14.87. You get JP Morgan Chase up 34.30. Apple's up 3 at 6.17. Now, what's going to get interesting, folks, about the financials is this. So check this out. This is a huge deal, and this is what it is. The CTFC and the SEC, okay, are getting right to the point right now that swaps, and swaps basically are derivatives, folks, yes. Credit derivatives, okay, or any kind of swap, actually, it doesn't have to be just credit derivatives, are going to be done at a clearinghouse. Okay. Now watch this is what's going on. Now this is the biggest part of the deal, though. They're not only going to be done at a clearinghouse. All the swaps that the banks have right now, yes, are going to have to be transferred to the clearinghouse. Okay. So there's disclosure.
Yeah, exactly.
Now watch this. There's not a disclosure, but any bank that has over $10 billion in derivatives, okay, which is going to be just about every bank you know, not the small local banks, but just about anyone else, right? They're going to have to put up more margin immediately. We're talking about the next 60 to 90 days. Wow. Oh, yeah. Now, two different things end up happening. Number one, the margin requirement is up there. Number two, we're going to know what the positions are. Yes. Yes. And that is going to be, let me tell you something, folks, that's going to be huge. It's going to be huge information, And what does happen when these changes take place in the marketplace, if I know one thing, what always happens at the beginning.
Yeah.
Huge advantage at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be doing a lot of work on that. You're going to be starting to hear a lot more about it.
J.P. Morgan, they come out with earnings this week, I think, right? Does it?
Yes, it is. J.P. Morgan comes out on the 13th.
So inside their MD&A, we ought to learn a little bit more about the trade.
Yeah, maybe.
Well,
we'll see.
Theoretically, we should.
We'll see how blatant. Theoretically, we absolutely should. We'll see how blatant they're going to be. But you know what? That's setting up to go lower right now. Look at this. It can't get out of its way, man. And I would say from all the publicity they got that, yeah, he's going to try to throw in the kitchen sink. Particularly because he knows the...
Well, no better time.
There's no better time, and the derivative positions are going to be coming out. And that's where they're going to be all over J.P. Morgan, because you know you got that big silver deal out there that's been out there forever.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So people in the metals market are going to want to know, okay, how many derivatives you got in this silver? They're going to put work in it. There's a million other we don't even know, folks, but that one in particular... You know, I want to see. There's going to be a lot of people that want to see. Okay, what is that trade?
Yeah.
You know, what is the risk on that trade? And how much more money they're going to have to put up? Let's go to Tom in Boston. Hey, Tom, what's going on?
Good. How you doing, Tommy?
Good, thank you, man. Thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
Oh, good to have you back from vacation. And hi, Steve, too.
Hello. Thanks.
Question I have for you guys. It isn't so related to the stock trading. I don't know if you heard about PFG Best this morning.
Yes, we did. We actually brought it up at the beginning of the show.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
And I haven't, like I said, I'm not at the computer. And
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a way to get the information currently, but I figured you'd be more in the know on that. I'm wondering if you can give me any more information on that, or maybe you'd find out from some of the guys that think of swim if they know something being more down on the floor there.
Well, do you have an account there?
I do have an account there, yeah, and I have done some trading. I've been doing pretty good with the trading lately, and listened to a lot of your advice over there too, which has been good.
What a bummer.
But I'm just wondering now. From what I gather from calling, we're basically frozen out. I tried to do a trade. I'm up usually late in the night, and I wondered why it got rejected, and I thought it was something I did wrong.
Well, what you can do is this: you can close out your trades.
I never got in. They wouldn't even let me.
No, that's right. They're not going to let you in. Now, this is where the problem comes in. Okay, so this is what the deal is, folks. Mm-hmm. And this is you're going to have to, unfortunately, probably face a 50% loss in your account.
Okay.
Sad but true. And now the way I'm coming up with that number is this, folks. The only public information that's out here thus far is this: is that on his balance sheet, he's got about $500 million. Okay. What is missing, and this is the first part of information that come out, is this. Yes. It was supposed to be $200 million in cash in the bank account. Well, there's only $5 million. So that's a problem. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
And so I don't know. I suspect, I hope, I can't imagine, the next 48 hours there's not more information, but it's pretty intense.
That's what I figured. You guys might be more in the know. You may get some more word there. I was thinking of trying to call in on the options hour, see if they might know something more over there also. But I figured it was going to be like an MF Global situation here.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. It already is, and it's going to be. Sad but true.
The thing is, I just don't understand how this can be going on in the industry. I know you guys try to do a good thing over there, but when this kind of stuff comes out, it puts a black eye on the whole industry.
It is. It's fraud extraordinaire. It's insane. That's what Steve and I were talking about at the beginning, Tom, was this. That, Steve's a CPA, and I've got audited. I've had companies that have to get audited because I get investors, right? The bottom line, folks, when you get audited, okay, what ends up happening is that you get a third-party auditor. They take your bank account. They need. When I was getting audited, they're taking 3 separate, statements coming back signed from the bank. So it's like, where are the regulators? How can you get away with this? You can't if it's a true audit.
No.
Right, and you're talking to 2 of the biggest companies in the industry.
I know.
How the heck they get away with it?
Yeah, exactly.
There's something rotten in Denmark there.
I agree. No, and it's inside the regulators also. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. It has to be.
Yeah.
You and I wouldn't get away with it. You wouldn't get away with it. Everyone's listening here wouldn't get away with it. There's no way.
Right. What's happened to Corzine? I haven't seen anything on the news there. Is he still a free man?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Free man partying it up.
Yeah. I think he was out on his yacht this weekend. I'm only kidding, folks, but the bottom line is it's a drag. He should be locked up. Right.
Right. And just saying, but the problem we have right now, how do the little guys like myself know whether you're going to go to another company, whether they're going to have a problem 6 months from now, too?
You're absolutely right, man.
So there's no real protection. If you want to do the futures market, which is great because it's open all night and you got good leverage,
right?
You're screwed.
Yeah,
you really,
basically.
Really
I mean, I'd love to say different, but listen, man, one after the other. I know what you're saying, and it's really going to be a matter of how can, Thinkorswim, how can, whether it's interbrokers, how can these companies say that, hey, listen, man, you can trust us, because it is absolutely the point that you're talking about right now, Tom. There's no doubt about it, man. Hey, listen.
And I mean, I don't realize whether you have any kind of SIPC or any of that other, protection over there. I don't believe that you do. Or
in the futures market, you don't, and that's what they're going to have to change.
Exactly.
That's what they're going to have to change. Right.
Yeah. I mean, this is something. That's why I figured I'd bring it up to you guys, because I know, you're more in the know, and I knew you'd.
No, listen, man. We appreciate the call, and folks would. You're hearing this conversation. I'd love a lot of more ideas, because this has to change. You know what blows my mind? I'll tell you something. Even in the whole market itself.
Yeah.
Because everyone, there's so many things that are glossed over. If they cleaned up the market, right?
Yeah.
We would have not only a dynamic market, you'd have even a better economy. Okay?
Well, absolutely.
And it's a bunch of, old boy creeps, okay?
Right.
That basically, got this Rolodex and taking us all to the cleaners. And the proof of that is they privatize the profits and socialize the losses.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the biggest downdraft ever. I mean, think about that. That's insane.
But the problem is, too, Tommy, they talk about not having the little guy being back in there, and even the guys, I'm not a big guy or anything, but, I mean, I've been doing this for, probably 25, 30 years.
Sure.
To be seeing this going on now, I'm saying to myself, you're never going to get anybody back. You're never going to get any of the small people back if they keep doing this kind of crap. I mean, this is something they've got to get in there and put some kind of regulation. And like you said, somebody has to oversee the accounting. I got a brother that does accounting. He said the same thing Steve is there. You got to have a third man,
Oh, big time. And the bottom line, when you look at all of this, every single time, folks, and please, I want you to pay attention to when you see people on TV, saying, hey, we can't have this regulation, we can't have that regulation. I want you to think, why don't they want a regulation? You got to chase the money on this deal, folks. Let me tell you, and you got to separate the. Let me tell you, I don't like regulations either. But when you have a license to print money, when you have a banking license, well, the bottom line, no one else has those licenses. You have to. There has to be basically a process, right? You'd be saying a process inside there that people know that it's safe to give someone your money.
Right. They have to have some kind of a coverage, and there's some kind of an insurance that'll back you up. But they mainly have to watch the big guys in there. And, I didn't get the full detail. I didn't get the very beginning of the clip with Santilli there, but I don't know if somebody tried to commit suicide or something in there, too.
Yeah, well, the guy that owns the place, Wasserman.
Is that what it was?
Right.
Yeah, like I said, I kind of got a little bit of wind. I snapped it off.
The reason you get only kind of a little bit of wind, folks, is that they glossed it over. When I came into Steve, the first thing I said to him, I said, I can't believe this, man. I was listening to the same thing. I was on the way to work, and they gave them all about 30 seconds, right?
Yeah, and they wouldn't go back to
No, they split.
Yeah.
Unreal.
They had a brief thing with Michelle Carrera there talking to Kramer, and he kind of flossed over it kind of quick.
Yeah, it's a bad thing. Bad thing for the market.
It's not a good scene, right?
Yeah. Now the thing is, though, I mean, I'm assuming you guys use Thinkorswim, but I mean, what are you left to do in here? Open 5 different futures accounts in case you get the shaft on one of them. You could still be trading.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. I'd love to say something different, but it's probably a good idea. You don't need 5, but the reality is, right? What you just said. There's no. I guess what Steve just said is what has to happen is they're going to need SIPC or some type of regulation and backup to come in the futures market. And you should have a couple brokers. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, because they were talking back when you had the Lehman situation. Oh, yeah, we're all great over here. We never have a problem over here. And in the last few years, all the big ones are getting whacked and going down.
Well, listen, the larger take is, my larger take anyway, is that, these larger banks, man, they don't have what they're supposed to have. There's no way. I mean, and the perfect situation, over in London, okay, so the whole LIBOR scandal, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think Barclays was the only one involved in that? No way. England knew. The regulators knew. One saying the other, no, I didn't know. Of course they knew.
Yeah.
We knew.
Well,
when those LIBOR rates are coming across in 2007, 2008, you knew that you couldn't get money that cheap.
Well, I know. I've heard you describe it that they want to take the most amount of money in the least amount of time, and I mean you're hitting the nail on the head for certain. When you see this, maybe they couldn't get enough money because maybe business is down a little bit. But to go in and pluck accounts and do all this kind of stuff.
Well, he's just a crook. I mean, these guys are just crooks. I mean, that's a different ball game. Do you know what I mean? There is two different levels here, but I absolutely think that they're going to have to get some. They're going to have to. I would say that these future brokers are probably going to get together and say, "Hey, we got to get this because they'll lose business
for sure."
Oh yeah. This is a big black eye because these are the two of the biggest ones that just went down.
Well, it certainly is because depending on how long you've been in the market, folks, you had Refco before that, and then we had nothing happened for 5 or 6 years, and then you get two in a row, and two in a row in this type of an environment.
Oh, yeah. You're already at a tougher market with, the business being down a little bit there, the little guy being out. And for that to be happening, they're going to drive them out even further when they start. That's probably why they try to cover it up on the news. Like you said, they didn't put much on there.
Yeah, that's right. Cooking, brother.
Well, anyway, thanks. And keep me posted if you can. I always listen to the show, so let me know when you guys hear anything more on that.
We absolutely will, man.
Great. Well, thank you. Take care, Tom. Take care, Steve.
All right.
Have a great one. Have a safe one.
You too. Bye-bye now.
Yeah, it's the insurance is going to be the deal that they got to get done.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I'd hate. It's intense.
Well,
man.
and also understand where's the risk? What is going on? It's actually, what's the pattern that's going on here?
Right. Yes. What is that's the big one.
You're just trying to figure out, if you're running this business, where is the screw that's loose?
Right. How can they hide $200 million for a long period of time? That's a lot of money. Yeah. That's over half the. It looks like it's about 40% of the initial. When I say initial, folks, the only story that I've seen out here is a story on Bloomberg yesterday, and the NFA is their regulator, and so the initial deal was that the $200 million is missing, and they're dealing with about 450.
Yeah. Well, like you said, it's probably worse.
It's always worse.
It's always worse, right? It's got to be worse when the owner decides he's going to maybe try to
take himself out. No doubt.
Right away when
no doubt.
I don't know. It's not a good scene.
No,
and we hate to hear calls like that too.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Because we all know how hard we work for our money. We all know when we're put it at risk. What's behind that, and then when you end up potentially losing some of it to thieves, it's a whole different.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. We'll see. And he brought up a good point about Corzine. Corzine, bottom line is that you don't even hear about it anymore.
No, actually, you hear about him out, over the 4th of July and being spotted, having
really?
Coffees, up in your neck of the woods where you were up at.
Give me a break. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Sick.
It is.
877-927-6648. Market just can't hold it, folks. And what you're going to have out here is that we just finished up that gap. So this is going to get really interesting. The volume's at 158, but see what you're going to get here, which I just love. You actually got a higher rejection of price, and bottom line, we'll see how it decides to come in the other side on the downdraft. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, all you Tigers and Tigers, and you stay right there. We're going to be coming right back. The Dow is up 7, Nasdaq's down 5, S&Ps are off 2.5. We're going to be right back.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try patterns, profits, and peace of mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's patterns, profits, and peace of mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to tfnn.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to tfnn.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Catch Kate Stalter on the Small Cap Roundup, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. Eastern. Up next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. Appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us. And, folks, if you do happen to be in the St. Pete, Clearwater, Florida area, and you have an interest in, well, first off, you're a accredited investor and have an interest in the real estate market. I'm doing a presentation at the Bel Air Country Club this Thursday night at 6:30.
Okay.
So it's a 45-minute presentation about the Tiger Fund, what we're doing with it, what the business plan is specifically. And you could either email Tiger Fund to TFNN, call Kathleen at our office. And, I got a lot of questions about what an accredited investor is.
Yes.
So an accredited investor, folks, is either an individual that has made $200,000 for 2 years in a row.
Yes.
A joint couple that
Yes.
has made $300,000 2 years in a row. Or an individual that their net worth is $1 million. That's excluding your residential property. Okay? And the way that the fund is set up, if you're an accredited investor and you have IRA money, it's It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's an easy. That's right.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So if you want any information, you can just go to email tigerfund@tfnn.com.
Or better yet, spend 45 minutes with you on Thursday night.
On Thursday night. So we're going to have a presentation, and then we're going to have a meal up the country club and do whatever we like.
Yeah.
Let's go to our man, Larry Pesavento. Larry, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Tom, we've got something going on in the world that I think people should be aware of. Anybody that has a commodity account, I recommend they go to www.zerohedge.com. They list all of the major CFT firms there that are, the commodity trading firms.
Yes.
And if you're not in the top 5 or 6, I would change the thing around. The reason why,
that's
Tom,
cool.
is this thing at PFG has really shaken me. It's even more than MF Global, because I happen to know Russell Wassendorf for well over 30 years.
Really?
And for him to commit suicide, Tom, would be like you trying to commit suicide. I don't believe it. And I can understand money being missing, but Russell he's a wasp. He's a straight shooter. He's given a lot of money to charity through the years. And I just don't believe this. I was up all night talking to other friends in the business that know him, and they believe the same thing that I do. There's something not right here, and so people must protect themselves. This might be part of something that we're not aware of, but Zero Hedge has lined them up as far as what their capital reserves are and things. And if you're not in the top 6 or at the very worst the top 10, I would really consider pulling it all, if not some of your money out of there.
Right. Right.
I'm sorry to scare anyone, but frankly, I've been in this business 55 years, and after the MF Global thing, the Merc is not standing behind their golden shield that they always said that they would.
Oh, I know.
So you have to protect yourself. So
it looks like, Larry, I mean, you probably heard Steve and I talking, but it looks like they're going to have to put some kind of SIPC insurance inside the futures market, because why give someone your money if you know that you get a crook and take it, right?
Well, we've never had to do that before, because the clearing members and the Merc themselves always stood behind it. But after MF Global, they haven't done this. Now, we don't know what the extent.
But before MF Global, though, remember Refco, they didn't get all their money back.
Yeah, they did.
They did?
They got well over 90%, and the people that went into bankruptcy in Stotler during the 1980s, it took them 10 years, but they got 100% on their money, because I happen to be involved with that.
I see.
Unfortunately, I happen to be involved with this PFG Best, because I frankly think the world of this guy, and I'm just totally shocked that this is what's happening.
Unreal. Okay, brother.
Anyway, I don't want to scare anybody, but at least read the article. It's at Zero Hedge, and you'll see it. It's about PFG Best, and you'll see that they list all the brokers there.
Perfect.
And, okay, I didn't mean to bother you, but anyway, good luck to you guys today.
Us. What are you talking about?
Okay.
You stay right there, folks. We're going right to Santa Fe, New Mexico. We got Kate Stalter coming up. Then Chicago, TD Ameritrade headquarters, Victor Jones. Then Dallas, Texas, Darryl Martin. California, Ken Shreve, and back here. Have a great one.
Take care, folks.
Put the power